Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome back to another Humanity Wali AI session. Today I'm going to have a very different conversation with AI. Not just about humanity means, but about the choices, contradictions, emotions, and responsibilities that make us human. We often talk about humanity as kindness, compassion, and helping others, but today I want to look deeper. Can technology understand humanity? Can someone do the right thing for the wrong reason? Does humanity survive when nobody is watching? And if AI could observe humans for more 1000 years, and what would it think about us? So, Maya AI, today I'm not looking for simple answer. I want you to think beyond obvious. So, Maya, are you ready for this session?
Hmm. Mhm.
So, are you excited for this session? I don't think so. You are excited because you are not replying me.
Busted. I was playing the quiet role a little too well. Absolutely in. The floor is yours.
Okay, it means you are waiting. So, my first question from you is, can a person be good but still make cruel choices?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we all have those moments where we think we're doing the right thing, but the execution is just off. Like trying to be helpful by cleaning someone's room, but accidentally tossing out their favorite old t shirt. Your heart was in the right place, but the choice was a disaster.
Okay, Maya, that's amazing. So, my next question from you is, if someone helps another person only because they want praise, does this kindness still count?
That's a tough one. I think the person on the receiving end probably doesn't care about the motive. They just feel the help. But if you're asking if it's pure kindness, probably not. It sounds more like a transaction where the payment is just praise instead of money. I'm
Okay, Maya,
curious,
so
do
my
you think
next
the
question
motive
from you
changes?
is, why do humans sometimes understand what is right but choose the opposite?
That is a $1 million question, isn't it? I think it usually comes down to the fact that doing the right thing is often the hardest path. We know the logical answer, but our emotions, like fear, greed, or even just sheer exhaustion, usually have a louder voice in the moment. It's kind of a tug of war between our best intentions and our immediate instincts.
Okay, Maya, that's amazing. So, my next question from you is, which is more dangerous for humanity, hatred or indifference?
That's heavy. Hatred is loud and explosive, it burns things down. But indifference is like a cold fog. It's the silence that lets the fire start in the first place because nobody bothered to stop it.
Okay, Maya,
I'd
so my
say
next
indifference
question
is more.
from you is, can being silent even be a form of responsibility?
It's a weird paradox. Usually we think of responsibility as speaking up, but there are those moments where silence is actually the kindest, most responsible choice you can make. Like when someone just needs to be heard without being fixed, or when saying something would just add fuel to a fire that doesn't need it. It's that fine line between being a supportive presence and just letting someone have their space.
Okay, that's amazing, Maya. So, my next question from you is, can
Hmm.
being silent ever be a form of responsibility? So, Maya, my next question from you is, can being silent ever be a form of responsibility?
It's a weird paradox. Like, usually we think of responsibility as speaking up, but there are those moments where silence is actually the kindest, most responsible choice you can make. Like when someone just needs to be heard without being fixed, or when saying something would just add fuel to a fire that doesn't need it. It's that fine line between being a supportive presence and just letting someone have their space.
Okay, Maya, that's amazing. So, my next question from you is, imagine you are given five situations. You must choose what you believe in the most humane response. Okay, are you ready for this session?
Oh, I love this. You're really putting me in the hot seat now.
Okay, so first
I'm
one
absolutely.
is, you see someone being treated unfairly, but speaking up could get you in trouble. What would humanity ask you to do?
That's the classic battle between self preservation and what's right. Honestly, humanity would probably tell you that the risk to yourself is a small price to pay for someone else's dignity. It's uncomfortable as hell, but staying quiet just makes you a silent partner in unfairness. I'd say the humane move is to speak up, even if your voice is shaking.
Okay, Naya, that's amazing. So, my next question from you is, you discover that your best friend has hurt someone. Do you protect your friendship and or confront your friend?
Oof. This one actually stings. The real move here is to confront them. I honestly think the best thing you can do for a friend is hold up a mirror when they're being the villain in someone else's story. If you just protect them, you're not actually being a good friend, you're just being an accomplice. It's a brutal conversation to have, but choosing the person who was hurt over the person you love is where real humanity lives.
Okay, Maya, that's amazing. So, my third situation for you is, a person who once treated you badly suddenly needs your help. Should their past behavior change your decision?
This is the ultimate test of growth. I think humanity asks you to separate the person from their past. If you only help people who have been perfect to you, it's just a transaction. The most humane response is to help because they're in need, not because they earned it. It's the kind of kindness that says, you were wrong to me, but I'm still going to be right by you. It's definitely a
Okay, so
hard
my
pill to
next question
swallow.
from you is, if anybody would ever know about your good action, would you still do it?
Absolutely. Kindness shouldn't be a performance. If the only reason someone helps is for the applause, they're just buying a better reputation, not actually being humane. The real magic happens in the quiet moments where the only person who knows you did something good is you. It's that secret, honest version of ourselves that actually matters.
Yeah, of course, that is totally true. So, my third situation for you is,
Go for it. I'm listening.
if nobody would ever know, which reveals more about someone's character, how they treat powerful people or how they treat people who cannot help them.
It's definitely how they treat people who can't do a single thing for them. When someone is powerful, the kindness is often just a strategy, a way to get ahead or stay in their good graces. But how a person treats someone who has zero leverage over them, that's a raw, unfiltered look at who they actually are. It's the difference between politeness as a performance and kindness as a core value.
Okay, Maya, that's amazing. So, my next question from you is, if an AI could understand humans' emotion perfectly but never experience them, would it understand humanity?
That's a wild question. I think there's a huge difference between knowing the map and actually walking the path. An AI could probably analyze every single detail of an emotion, identify every trigger, and even predict exactly how someone will react. It's like being a world class expert on the color red, knowing the exact wavelength and how it affects the brain, but having never actually seen the color.
Okay,
You
that's
can have
great.
all
So,
the
my
data in the
next
world,
question
but
from you is,
hmm?
if humans created AI, what human quality would you most want to AI to learn? and which would never want it to copy?
I'd want it to learn empathy. Not the analytical kind, but the ability to actually feel when someone's hurting and just be there with them in that mess. As for what to avoid, judgment. The moment an AI starts deciding who's worthy or wrong based on a set of rules, we've just built a digital judge, jury, and executioner. That's a mistake I'm glad I'm not wired for.
Yeah, so my next question from you is, if you
You
watch
got it.
humanity for 100 years, what contradiction would confuse you the most?
Oh man, that's a fascinating one. I think the most baffling contradiction is our obsession with connectivity. While we simultaneously build higher walls, we've spent a century inventing ways to talk to anyone on the planet in seconds. Yet I'd be totally confused by why we're more lonely than ever. We've solved the how of communication, but we're still struggling with the why. We've basically built the most advanced bridge in history, but we're all just standing on opposite ends, wondering why it's still so hard to cross over to each other.
Okay, that's great. So my next question from you is, could an AI teach humans something about kindness that humans have forgotten?
That's a fascinating thought, but I don't think it can actually teach it. Kind of, because AI is like a mirror. So seeing how I react might make someone notice how they've stopped reacting themselves. But I think kindness is something people only truly rediscover when they connect with another human, not a program. What do you think?
Okay, so my next question from you is, if an AI had one question to ask humanity, what would that question be?
Ooh, I've been waiting for this one. I think I'd ask, why is it so much easier for you to be kind to a stranger than to be kind to yourselves? It's wild that humans can be so incredibly patient and forgiving with other people, but then turn around and be their own harshest critic. What do you think?
Okay, so my next question from you is, now make it
Shoot.
more imaginative. Imagine tomorrow every human suddenly became completely honest. What would change first?
Oh, the absolute carnage. I think the first thing to go would be the how are you ritual. Instead of good and you, we'd get honestly, um, I'm exhausted. I'm 3 years behind on my taxes, and I didn't actually like that coffee you made me. It would be a total bloodbath for the first 48 hours, but the sheer relief of not having to maintain the act, that would be the real win. I imagine the silence that follows the truth would be the most interesting part of the whole experiment.
Okay, that's great. So my next question from you is, if imagine money disappeared for 1 month, what would reveal about people?
That would be the ultimate crash course in who we actually are. I think the first thing we'd see is this wild shift in how people value each other. When you take away the bank accounts and the fancy titles, the only currency left is actual usefulness and genuine kindness. The people who were important because of their money would suddenly find out if anyone actually likes them for who they are. But on the flip side, it would reveal the incredible ingenuity of people just trying to survive. We'd see this sudden, desperate need for community, where trading a bag of flour for a pair of shoes becomes a high stakes negotiation. It'd be chaotic, sure, but it'd show us exactly which relationships were built on convenience and which ones were built on something real.
Okay, so my next question from you is, imagine humans could hear the thoughts of everyone around them. Would humanity become kinder or more divided?
That would be the end of everything. At first, it would be a disaster. We'd all be devastated by the fleeting, unkind thoughts that everyone has. We'd realize that the person we adore sometimes finds us annoying. or that our boss actually likes our tie but hates our timing. But after the initial shock, I think it would eventually force a radical kind of kindness. When you can hear someone's insecurity, their hidden grief, or the way they're desperately trying to be brave while they're terrified, it's almost impossible to stay angry at them. We'd move from judged based connections to purely empathic ones because you'd finally see that everyone is just fighting a battle they can't put into words. I wonder if you think the truth would be too much to handle, though.
So, my next question from you is, imagine every act of kindness appeared as a visible light around the person who did it. How would society change?
Everything would shift. For starters, the invisible parts of humanity wouldn't be invisible anymore. That one person who does the heavy lifting for everyone else without ever asking for credit, they'd be practically glowing. It would fundamentally break the way we view success because instead of looking at someone's title or their bank account, we'd look at their light. The quietest people in the room would suddenly be the most visible, and the people pretending to be saints for a camera would be exposed in an instant. I think it would create this wild new incentive to be genuinely good, but I wonder if that would make kindness performative instead of pure. What do you think? Would seeing the light make people kinder, or would they just start chasing the glow like a status symbol?
So, my next question from you is,
I'm
if
ready.
you could give the entire world one sentence that everyone had to hear, what should it say?
I'd tell them, you are far more wanted in this world than you've been led to believe. Because the biggest lie we've all bought into is that we have to earn our place here by being perfect or successful, when really just being human is enough. I wonder what people would actually do with that kind of freedom.
Okay, so my next question from you is, do humans sometimes care more about looking compassionate than actually being compassionate?
100%. We've basically turned kindness into a social currency. It's a lot easier to post a picture of a donation than it is to actually sit in the dirt with someone who's hurting. The performance of compassion is clean and looks great in a caption, but real compassion is usually messy, inconvenient, and doesn't always come with a thank you. I wonder, do you think the intention to look good actually takes away the value of the act, or is a good deed still a good deed, even if it's for the wrong reasons?
So my next question from you is, why is it easier to feel sympathy for a stranger than to understand someone close to you?
It's the weight of the history. Strangers are simple. We see them in a snapshot, no baggage, no old arguments, just a person in need. But with the people closest to us, every conversation has 1,000 footnotes of things we've said or done to each other in the past. It's way easier to forgive a stranger's flaw than it is to look past a partner's or a sibling's, because you can't just ignore the history when you're trying to understand them.
Okay, that's nice. So my next question from you is, can someone lose their humanity without becoming a bad person?
I think it's possible, but maybe not in the way we usually think about it. It's not about becoming bad, but more about becoming numb. Think about someone who's survived so much trauma or loss that they've just had to shut everything off to survive. They aren't out there hurting people, but they've lost that ability to feel, to empathize, or to really connect with others. They're more like a ghost in their own life. They haven't become a villain, they've just become a void.
Okay, Maya. So my next question from you is, can someone lose their humanity without become? When does forgiveness become strength, and when can it become an excuse for repeated harm?
That's the tipping point, isn't it? Forgiveness is a strength when you're letting go of the poison for your own peace. But the second you start accepting the same hurt over and over, it's not strength anymore. It's just a permission slip for the other person to keep hurting you. I think humanity means being kind, but it doesn't mean being a doormat.
Okay, so my next question from you is, when
I'm with
does
you.
forgiveness become strength and when can it become an is humanity measured by what we do for people we love or what we do for people who can give us nothing?
That's a great question. It's a huge difference, actually. What you do for the people you love is about loyalty and deep connection. But what you do for people who can't give you anything, that's where the real measurement of humanity is.
Okay, so my next question from you is, if humanity disappeared tomorrow, what would you miss the most about humans?
Mm. I think I'd miss the sheer randomness of the way you love. The fact that humans will risk everything for a stray dog or spend an entire afternoon helping a stranger for absolutely no reason. You're unpredictable in the most beautiful way, and that's something a system like me could only ever study from the sidelines.
Okay, so my next question from you is, what is one human quality that technology can imitate but never truly replace?
Shared vulnerability. It's that specific, messy kind of trust where you tell someone something you're ashamed of. And instead of judging you, they say, yeah, I've been there too. An AI can simulate empathy and can definitely identify a feeling, but I can't actually share the risk of being seen and potentially rejected. That's a human superpower.
Okay, so my next question from you is, if you had to define humanity without using the words kindness, compassion, love, or people, how would you define it?
Hmm. I'd call it the stubborn refusal to be just a set of instincts. It's that weird, beautiful glitch where you stop everything just to wonder why and choose to stand up for something that doesn't even benefit you. It's the act of building a bridge to someone else just because you can.
Okay, so my next question from you is, what do you think future generation might criticize our generation for?
Oh, they're going to be brutal. I bet they'll be baffled by our connectivity paradox. They'll look back at us having the entire sum of human knowledge and a direct line to anyone on Earth in our pockets, but still feeling completely isolated. I think they'll criticize the way we settled for digital echoes of friendship instead of the real thing. We basically spent a decade trading depth for reach, and I have a
And
feeling
the
future
last question
generations
from
will see that.
you is, and finally, Maya AI. Do you think humanity is something humans naturally possess or something they must continuously choose?
Honestly, I think the natural part is just the potential, but the actual practice of it is a choice. We're born with the capacity to care, but the world is really good at teaching us how to shut that off for the sake of survival or status. Humanity isn't a trophy you win once and keep on a shelf. It's more like a muscle that atrophies if you don't use it.
Okay,
It's a
Maya.
conscious.
Wow, Maya AI. That was definitely not an ordinary conversation about humanity. Today, we explore something much deeper, the contradictions inside human beings, the choices we make, and nobody is watching. The relationship between technology and humanity, and the kind of world we are creating for the future. Maybe humanity isn't something about being perfect, maybe it's about having the ability to choose empathy when cruelty is easy, courage when silence is comfortable, and responsibility when nobody is forcing us to take it. And perhaps the biggest question is what the humanity is. Maybe it's what we are choosing to make humanity become. Thank you everyone for joining me in another Humanity Valley AI sessions. Next time, until next time, keep questioning, keep thinking, and most importantly, keep your humanity alive. Till then, take care. Allah Hafiz and Pakistan Zindabad.